Oh, popping a beer.
Hey, hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Those Guys. Yes, it's a extra show on the Rule of the Galaxy Network. It is Those Guys. We've got Joe, we've got Tom, we've got Ryan, or as most of you call him, Mass. And we're here on a lovely Saturday morning in central Indiana, either popping our sodas, drinking our coffee, or as Tom said, what are you drinking again, Tom?
Well, it's not AG1. It's actually Costco greens in a AG1 thing. So I'm not sponsored.
Okay. So
Uh,
we're looking for sponsors. Tom wants the healthy, good stuff, not from Costco, but the actual AG1 stuff. So if you're out there
that's
listening, we'd be more than happy to take any sponsorship here. But it is a lovely Saturday morning. We've got the three of us getting together. I know we all have crazy, busy days and lives, but every now and then we just like to get together and talk and hang out and just shoot the you know what. But it's go around the table time. Tom, you started off early. You got here early while Mass was doing God knows what. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing
I
really well. Oh, is Matt starting or is Matt starting?
Tom, you start.
Oh, sorry. I'm doing really well. Sorry, Mass, if I stole your thunder. Um, yeah, it's a weekend off from show choir. Amy has to go do hair. Um, we're not using code names anymore. So Amy's going to
Hmm.
do hair at Center Grove, and then we're off for the weekend because it's a Center Grove. It's a home one. They
Yes.
discourage parents from going to the home events to make room for all the other incoming teams and their families.
oh, good for you.
Yeah,
And it's a huge fundraiser for the Center Grove group.
Cor- correct. Yes, and they can't compete. They perform, but they can't compete.
Correct.
So yeah.
Don't want to get the home cooking going on.
Exactly. Although, hey, shout out to Ashley Line, Debtones grand champion in the first two show choir events they've had. So
Grand champion in the big school events, because I know they
yes,
break it down, correct? Small
yeah,
school, big school, all that.
yeah. So pretty cool. It's pretty neat
Yeah,
to watch.
it is. Tom, I think I've got written down, is it next Saturday maybe? That we're supposed to go to one in their local one next
There's a
Saturday?
Franklin Central one. Yes, there is.
Okay. I think it's in my calendar.
There you
Cannot
go.
wait to go and do the air clap and all that kind of stuff. That's
Look
going to
at
be
Mass's
exciting.
eyes. He
I
did his
was
eye went
like, ooh.
like what?
What? Oh, is Dead Tones the name of the band or the group? I
Yeah,
mean,
the Debtones. Yeah, it's the
okay.
varsity all female
Deptone.
choir. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a big deal, Mass. If you're free next Saturday, you should go with me and Lori, and we'll show you the whole shebang about show
It's
choir because
a full event and they
yeah.
cheer mid performance. If somebody has a solo, they'll put their hands up and yeah, it's
Is it
wild.
jazz hands?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
Jazz hands? No, I used to listen to the Deftones, but I'd never
it's
heard of the.
It's very close.
not the Deftones. Yeah, but
Um,
come on.
so Tom, you gave us your quick intro. Mass, how are things going with you and pre-married life and work and everything else?
It's going pretty well. Works pretty. It works okay. Oh, I saw Lori the other day
Yes, I was
at
going to
work.
bring
Yeah,
this up. Yes, I
yeah.
hear you're flirting with my wife at work. That's
Oh,
awesome.
That's not true. She was all over me. That was totally her fault. And yeah, no, I walked in there and I'm trying to find this this like 306. I'm looking for 306 and I couldn't find it. And I'm looking around, and I see this woman in this room, and I'm like, I don't know, should I go in there and ask her? And I keep looking around, and she starts coming towards the door, and I'm like, is that Lori? And she opens the door, and she goes, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I'm like, like, "Hey, where is this?" But yeah, it turned out pretty well. So work's good. Uh, my son's good. Kelly's good. So yeah, we're having the time of our
You're
lives now.
getting closer to graduation, so that's fun.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
are We're doing the countdown to the wedding, which is that's great. And yeah, so I did want to add in there. I know you heard about my famous Valentine's Day dinner I was making my wife.
Yeah. What was it?
I was making breakfast for dinner. I made
That's
pancakes
right.
and
Uh-huh.
sausage. And
Oh, you had to throw the sausage in there, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
that's very Valentine's Day.
thank
Hey,
you.
baby. Hey, baby, you want some sausage? Yeah. For Valentine's Day.
Now I felt silly because most guys were like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a steak dinner, or I'm gonna do this thing up with a salad and all this." And I actually asked Lori, I was like, "I'll make dinner. What do you want?" And she said, "You know what? You make great pancakes. Can you make breakfast for dinner?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she says she told you, Mass, and I was like, "Well, there we go. Now I'm gonna be embarrassed for the rest of my life because the only thing I'm good at making is pancakes." So yeah, I thought my
you made
new nickname would be like Joey Pancakes or something like that. I don't know.
I
so.
just call you Joey Cakes.
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
question is, did you put a little food coloring in the pancakes to make them pink?
No, because RFK has told me that food coloring is bad.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I'm trying to live the life of a clean eating human being.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
that's the one you should listen to.
Yeah. Did you make them heart shaped?
No, I didn't. I was not romantic in that way in any form whatsoever with the food. But hey, I instead of going and buying a cheap or inexpensive card, I actually wrote a handwritten letter for Valentine's Day with
Mhm.
pouring out my thoughts and feelings for my wife of 33 years. So I was bought her a little bit of jewelry, all that kind of stuff. Trying to be romantic because I went through Joey and what's the company he's with? Kendra Scott. Went through Joey. He has a deal with Kendra Scott, and we could use that. So I got a little deal there. Hyperspace Heroes. Hey, how are you guys so chipper this early on a Saturday? Um,
I am
well,
not.
yeah, Mass is doing
I'm
this
up.
in
Yeah.
protest. Yeah. I'm this chipper all the time. As a matter of fact, in the recent Rule of the Galaxy podcast, I know Brown Leader, you probably heard, but I got to meet with T-Bob, and we were joking because Brent Dykeman says I'm on like level 12 when it comes to energy and excitement in my life. Well, T-Bob's also on energy 12 at all time, except he's 6'5", 200 and whatever. So when I'm on 12, his 12 is multiplied just by size and everything else. So yeah, there's not a lot of us out there. Tom's doing it because of AG. AG's getting him going
Oh,
on
dude,
Saturday morning.
it's Costco. Remember Costco? Costco greens. Uh,
I'm gonna have to try some of that sometime. I got to get healthier.
it's
No.
not me. It doesn't help when you come home from eating Goodfellas pizza last night
Mm.
and then you stop by Meyer and just Little Debbie's. Just
Tom.
And a Diet Coke. Yeah.
why?
You got to even it out.
Why do you have to be that way? Why do you have to be that way, Ryan?
We have to have balance in our lives,
Yes.
Ryan.
I can't just have all the sugar in my drink. It's got to be in my Little Debbie cakes.
I have a question though. What's with the pancakes, man? I mean, what do you put into the pancakes that makes them so requested on Valentine's Day? Are we
Yeah.
talking powdered sugar? We talking
Hey,
syrup? We talking
Matt,
both? I mean, what's going
Matt,
on?
we know it's really not the pancakes. We know what it is.
So sausage?
It's the sausage. It's algae brown to a sausage.
Okay. Before we get a rated R rating on our morning podcast, so on the pancakes, I will let you know, I do take Hungry Jack's box mix, right? And so I put that together. But I do add in some things to add a little flavor to it, a little vanilla, a little brown sugar. So I mix
Okay.
that into the mix. And I am very big on believing that if you put a lot of air in your pancakes, so I like to whisk them a lot to get them full of air in the mix, and it makes them fluffier and everything else. So I put a lot of love and care into the pancakes. The first time I ever made pancakes, I burnt the crap out of them because I just didn't know what I was doing, when to flip, all that kind of stuff, and I had to get the temperature right. So it became a passion of mine to say, I want to be the guy that when the kids come over, like on a Christmas morning or something, New Year's morning, I can make them pancakes in the morning, right? So I've really worked on adding little bits here or there to add the flavor to them, so they're not just generic pancakes. I have done it before where I've crunched up little bits of bacon in there. I have done it before where I like a McGriddle, McDonald's, which has a little bit of syrup in the pancake, right, or in the McGriddle. So I've done it before where I've mixed a little syrup into there, but I like those more than everybody else does. So for me, it's a little bit of vanilla and it's a little bit of brown sugar. Get the right mixture and then whisk them till they're real fluffy. And then I've got my skillet down to where I know exactly when to flip it. So that's mine right there. Look at this. We are getting
That's a lot of love. That is a lot of love.
yeah. Well, so here we got. I heard the government were detecting unusual, approaching dangerous levels of energy from Louisiana. When
That's
you
probably
keep up.
true.
Yeah, that is true. Thank you. And look at this. Alfie must be at work watching us live. I'm all in for pancake talk. Dude, that is why
Oh.
we are here.
That's Alfie's pillow talk. It's
Oh, yeah.
pancake talk.
No,
Hey, now,
okay.
whisk those
You're-
pancakes, baby. Whisk them.
You're gonna hear very soon on an episode.
Pancakes in my ear.
It's that gif where the hair on the arm goes up, when you whisper in somebody's ear.
And I'm just going to assume they're Italian sausages.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Dr. Squatch, I got to get up and eat breakfast now because I'm talking about pancakes. Thank you, Dr. Squatch. Dr.
Wow.
Squatch is down in Alabama, a big Auburn fan. So good morning, Dr. Squatch.
Good morning.
But in a most recent episode, which will be out very soon, Alfie talks about his storage container that he has at his new house that
Ooh.
they're building. Now he says it's full of a lot of everything.
No way.
We know
There's
it's full
absolutely
of
no
Star
way.
Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. Yeah, see, Alfie's hopping in again. We are getting. I love it that a Saturday morning is getting comments in to start the show.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, look, big day. Auburn versus Alabama in basketball per Dr. Squatch.
What's basketball?
Wow, you live in Indiana.
Well,
Man.
IU hasn't given us much to,
They will next year. They're getting a new
follow
coach.
any longer.
They're getting a new coach. Who's it going to be, guys?
I don't know. I hope he's as good as the last three, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys were awesome.
Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Jay Wright from Villanova.
Oh, I would like that. He hasn't
I'd
even
like
been on
that
the
too,
candidate
but-
list, has he?
Well,
what?
I don't think he's ever coming back to coach again, but because of the NIL and all that stuff.
What
But,
about the guy who used to be a Butler who's now with the Celtics?
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens.
They're not going to be able to pay.
I read yesterday he's not even up for the job.
So I will tell you this, and Mass, you're much more involved with IU sports than I am. I love them, but you're probably getting more inside scoop. IU has the money.
Yes.
They could get any coach they want. And Tom, the AIG thing is AG, whatever is kicking in. He had to run to the bathroom, I'm sure. But they could get any coach they want. I think when IU saw how well their football program did this year, how much money it brought into the program, how much excitement it did, they realize, guys, our moneymaker is sitting in an assembly hall. We have to get this back to being a top 5, top 10 program, because when IU basketball is good, the entire state of Indiana goes nuts. It takes over. You can say what you want about the Colts. I think IU basketball is what Indiana, like sports wise, when they're doing well, none of the rest of it even matters.
That was true, but I'm not. I mean, it's been so long that I'm not sure that it's been at least 25 years, maybe more.
We had a run with Mike Davis and was it
Crean had a little bit of a run.
Oh yeah, they had one season apiece.
Yeah.
And I mean, people that are 25 years old don't know what it's like.
No.
So I'm not sure if they can get back to that level.
It's funny you mentioned that because Joey's 31. He saw the IU versus Maryland game, the national championship game, when Mike Davis was a coach, right?
Mhm.
After that, let's face it, what has he seen out of IU basketball? And he's 31.
Pain and
So,
suffering.
yeah, he's never, like, when you grew up in Indiana, you were an IU basketball fan. There were a few people that were Purdue fans, but when it came to basketball, the Pacers were secondary for a long time.
Yep.
The Colts were brand new. Notre Dame was kind of your football team for the most part because Purdue and IU were never the great teams. But when you grew up, that was the way it was. It hasn't been that way forever. I mean, there's now more Purdue fans and Butler fans than ever before, just because of the strength that they've had recently. So yeah, IU basketball is missing out. And again, when it's going well, it's a moneymaker. And with the NIL, you guys know there are so many graduates of IU and so many backers of IU that are multimillionaires, super rich, run their own companies. They'll throw all the money you can at players. So it's just getting the right coach in there. It really is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know. Excuse me. I don't even know who's on the list right now. I mean, Dusty May from Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's look, they've got it. You know what was really sad? And I know you guys are old enough. Well, Mass, I know you're old enough. Tom, I'm not sure you remember that much about it, but the whole Steve Alford thing, how it went down, how they went to Davis instead of Alford, and then when Davis was going, they still didn't go to Alford. I mean, I just feel like there was a massive window that was missed because while he's not the best coach ever, he's been really successful and taken a lot of teams to the NCAA tournament. That I mean, his career has been pretty good, and if you bring him to IU, I don't know if that would have ever worked or not, but I just think it was a missed opportunity.
So I was 11 when Alford, was leading the charge for the championship, and followed them. And I did follow the whole like how they passed him by when they let Knight go. But now it's so far removed, so far removed. He doesn't mean anything to the young players, and I don't know.
But Mike Woodson doesn't either. I mean,
True.
Mike Woodson was older than him.
That's true.
That was a bad hire.
But didn't Woodson coach in the NBA?
Yeah, but that's why it was a bad hire.
But,
I mean, he was a coach for like 20 years in the NBA, and the Knicks weren't good,
but
forever. And when he came in, it looked like they were playing, 1987 basketball, trying to get it down to the center. I mean, it's just their defense was bad, and he was supposed to fix that, and their offense was bad. It's just, and the whole what I've heard is that Quinn Buckner does not like Steve Alford, and that's why he never got the job.
Wow.
Quinn Buckner is on the board and he does not like Steve Alford, and so that's why he's never become the coach.
Quinn.
Wow.
But Mike Woodson. Yeah, there we go. Get that in there.
All right. So for this, maybe one or two people that like Indiana basketball, I think we can wrap up this segment here because I'm sure it's really gaining us a lot of followers and listeners.
Nobody's chiming in anymore.
Oh, we put them all to sleep.
Yeah, we were doing pancakes and sausage, and we had tons of listeners, and now
Alfie's making pancakes, and
Dr. Squatch probably is because he's getting ready for that big Alabama-Auburn game.
Let's talk more food. Have you guys been to Goodfellas Pizza off Mass Ave?
I have.
Oh, man. Mass is pretty good. If you like the New York style pizza, like the big slices, thin crust, pretty good.
So, Tom, let's talk about that because for me, I look at pizza and I think there's a few places in Indianapolis. So if you're listening all over the country, which Dr. Squatch is and Hyperspace Heroes are, I would say this. Etre More, where I'm going to keep trying to take you guys, even though it's 45 minutes away, is the best pizza I've ever had in the United States. Basbo's is fantastic on Mass Ave. Goodfellas, very good. Pizza and Libations in Barkersville, you guys have to try it. Pizza and Libations.
You and I have gone there.
We did. We went there.
We went there like when it opened.
I think Lori probably had us on gummies or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But those places are fantastic pizza places. Goodfellas, I don't remember that much about it, but I've been there. Yeah. How about you guys? What are some of your favorite your pizza that you go to?
The one that will rock your world, change your life, is Futuro Pizza. It's like southeast downtown,
Okay.
and they have a thin tavern crust pizza, and then they've got a Detroit style pizza. I don't know how to pull up an image and share on this.
Don't worry about it. You're good. We'll tell people. Futuro Pizza, right?
Futuro. I used to see a picture of this pizza. They're Detroit style. So
Uh-huh.
Detroit's like the deep dish, like the Sicilian kind of.
Mhm.
And they have ricotta cheese dollops, which obviously, Joe, it'd rock your world in more ways than one. Wreck your world. Sorry, wreck your world.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it is top notch. I think they got ranked number 1 or number 2 in
Okay.
Indie Magazine. Yeah.
I'm going to put that on the list. We're going to go
And
check out
Giacomo's.
Futuro. Oh, Giacomo's is good. We had that.
How about you, Mass?
We usually get Giacomo's. It's pretty close to the house, and the cheese Louise pizza we really like. So,
Nice.
but we actually don't have pizza a lot. So I'm
Do you
not
eat
your
pancakes
I'm not
and
your
sausage
guy,
a lot?
huh?
Do you have pancakes and sausage a lot?
I try to we try to do sausage as often as we can, but
Wow.
you're not really any pancakes. Yeah.
Well, let's stay with the food topic. Lori and I, for the first time ever last night, watched 2 episodes of the Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy show. Have you guys
Kelly
seen this?
loves that. Kelly loves it.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I want him to be my best friend. He is the
Yes.
coolest guy. And they went to Naples, and they went. Yes, Alfie, you are correct. Chicago's is fantastic, and it's 2 minutes from my house. Chicago does have great pizza, and they have great breadsticks. But Stanley Tucci went to Naples in the first episode, and he went to Rome in the second episode. Both places I've been, and both places I'm going to go visit again later this year. But the food he showed on there was fantastic. It made me ready to go right now. Like, I was getting hungry watching the show. It was incredible.
What is this on?
It's on HBO Max.
HBO Max. Stanley Tucci's what?
Searching for Italy. And so there's 20 regions of Italy. You're talking to the Italian guy here. There's 20 regions of Italy. He goes to each of the 20 regions and shows you food and things from their culture in each one of them. And Stanley Tucci, honestly, like, I hate to say it, I'm jealous of him. The way he dresses in each one of these episodes is awesome. He's got such a great personality. I mean, just great.
That's what I was going to say. Kelly keeps trying. Hey, do you like this sweater he's wearing?
Yes.
Wait, is he like a sweater over an Oxford shirt with a scarf and
He'll have a jacket on, a scarf on.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I could probably dress like him tomorrow. If I had the money, that's how I would dress all the time.
Yeah. He is pimped out.
He is.
He looks good, and I'm pretty sure that's what he wears around all the time.
100%.
Yeah.
Like a sport coat over a sweater. It's too hot. It's too hot.
He's in Italy, dude.
It's too hot.
Give him a break, man. It's cold in Italy.
It can't be that cold. You need a sweater, an Oxford, and a freaking sport coat.
Well, it's fantastic. So I will let you know to watch that. I'm going to throw in some other things real quick. We always talk about Ted Lasso, Slow Horses. We talk about different shows, but Silo. You guys both Silo, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Silo will blow your mind. Fantastic. And then another one that came on that Lori and I just went through like a buzzsaw. Ready? Paradise on Hulu. If you're not watching Paradise on Hulu, you are missing out.
Who's in Paradise?
The guy from The Last of Us, the African-American gentleman from The Last of Us, and 27 Dresses. Remember the photographer in 27 Dresses, the reporter?
Yeah.
He plays the president. So he's the president. The other gentleman is Secret Service. But Paradise on Hulu, it's, I think, 7 episodes in. It's fantastic.
It's got the dude from This Is Us.
Yeah. The African.
Is that what I said? I said Last of Us. This is
I was like, you watched The Last of Us?
No,
I thought it was really good. But
yeah.
No, but I'm just telling you right now, Lori and I were like, oh my. Yeah, you guys will. So, Tom, Silo, Slow Horses,
All
and
right.
now this show right here. You have to watch Paradise.
I'm gonna take your recommendations. I'm gonna throw one your way. You
I'm
ready
ready.
for this?
Yeah.
Scamanda.
How the heck?
Scamanda.
SCA or SC
Like
Amanda?
Scamanda.
Okay.
So it's just a 4-part series. There are only 3 so far. This lady scammed a whole church, a whole community out of money by saying she had cancer and posting a blog and just getting all this GoFundMe money.
I saw the trailer for that. Yeah.
Watch it. It's freaking great. And the perfect wife, or I think it's The Perfect Wife. It's another one.
Don't know that one.
Lady disappears and then comes back. You just have to, yeah. It's real life stuff. This is not fake. This is nonfiction, real stuff.
Damn it, Alfie. Okay, Alfie makes fun of every choice that I make for a freaking movie. Just because I said, oh, Emilia Clarke, the girl from Last Christmas, he was like, you effing moron. Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't watch Game of Thrones.
But this is why you and I get along, because 27 Dresses, the light bulb, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Dr. Squatch. When you got to remember when you're watching Seinfeld, that everything George Costanza does is a true story that the writer actually did.
Yes, Larry David.
You got to keep that in mind. Larry David actually did all the ridiculous things that George Costanza did.
I tell you what, I cannot wait. I'm going to head to Alabama. I'm going to see a game at either Auburn or Alabama, and I'm going to meet up with Dr. Squatch. He is by far one of my favorite people, and he comments no matter what we're doing. He's a great guy. And then Adam Parker, who's not on here today, he lives in Baton Rouge. And when I was down in New Orleans, he and I were texting, trying to meet up while we were down there. But it's going to be a meetup. I have a feeling me, Dr. Adam Parker, and T-Bob are going to be drinking a lot when we go to see LSU. Here's some more comments. I love this. Been watching Shrinking on Apple, by the way, one of my top 5 shows.
Good for
ever.
you, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roy Kemp from Ted Lasso. Yep. There we go. Joy's in season 2. Severance. I have not watched, so I need
Severance. I'm up to date on Severance.
Are you really?
That
one's so weird, man.
It is so weird, and I can't stop watching it. But
Okay.
it is tripped out. Like their brains are severed, right? So when they go to work, when they get out of work, they can't remember what happened at work. When they're at work, they can't remember what happens outside there. And so you're like figuring stuff out as they're figuring stuff out. It's actually a really good show. But yeah,
maybe I'll try to give it a try. It was so the sterile offices that they work out and just the
it's hard to get. It's hard to get into, but it's pretty good.
It looks like it would freak me out. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get both a Ryan and a Tom designation thumbs up or thumbs down before I watch it. So Mass is a thumbs up. Tom, I'm gonna wait.
You may never get my thumb anywhere. Wow. Because I may not watch Severance.
You're not going to. I know you're not.
Hey, American Primeval. Have you guys either one watched this?
I've heard Chris Tilton said it's freaking like.
Yeah, it got recommended to me the other day too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Peter Berg, right?
Yes. It's intense. Watch a few episodes.
Mormons settling Utah.
Mormons, Indians, the army, and just cowboys. So those 4 factions all in Utah at the same time. Absolutely crazy. So just something you might want to check out. Honestly, look, we talk about things streaming and movies and stuff like that all the time, but streaming TV, mostly on Apple, a little bit on Netflix, a little bit on Hulu, there is some good shit. Like there's, like I look back and we joke. Like I'll say, hey, Laura, you never watched Cheers. Let's watch Cheers, right? And we get a few episodes in, and she's like, these are so slow. This is kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
And I guess at the time we were used to that.
You're
because
waiting on that laugh. You're waiting on that punchline joke to hit. And then it was
Yes,
like, oh, the crowd laughs or the laugh track.
everything's sped up because if you watch Modern Family, for example, compared to a Cheers or something like Night Court, it's so much quicker. It's boom, 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 right? And like my daughter watches Gilmore Girls religiously. It's on 24/7 at her house. And the lines are so quick, right?
Yes. The
And
dialogue in that show is awesome.
it is.
Really is.
Really
Hey, here we go. We're getting more comments. Have you guys seen Daredevil?
have not.
No.
Nope.
Need to
The-
check that out. Heard
The
good parts.
series, I believe it used to be on Netflix. The first couple of seasons, I think there's only 2 seasons there. There might be 3, but Daredevil, Luke Cage, The Punisher, they're all really good.
Gotcha.
Look at this. We have brought up a serious topic here, streaming. We should just call our show streaming because when we talk about it, we're getting all kinds of stuff. Severance is a bit like Hitchcock. I like that. Quirkiness in the acting.
It's
Yeah.
trippy, man. Yeah. You take a gummy bear, watch Severance, you're fucked. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be staring at the wall.
We had 4 channels. Thank you, Alfie.
Yeah.
You would be staring at the walls. We'd be
Yeah.
like, what do you think about that scene, Tom?
Is
yeah.
it on a loop?
So not only are we talking about streaming, I want to talk about this. One, I see a few big movies and they're all hero related, so it ought to be interesting. But on my agenda for the next few months, I've got, of course, Captain America, then Thunderbolts, and then Superman in like July. Are there? Those are all on my list to see. But are there other ones that I'm missing that should be good or that look good coming out soon? I know you guys are thinking about Mission Impossible, which I've still not even started the
You read
entire
my mind.
series, but the last one's coming out. But other things you guys are seeing, and what do you think about these 3 that I mentioned?
What's Thunderbolts?
It's the anti-heroes, like all the guys, like U.S. Agent, who was the guy next to Captain America, and the Black Widow's sister, and the Red.
Oh, is it Florence Pugh? I'll watch that.
Yep.
Yep. Sign me up.
It.
Oh,
look,
the Accountant too. I forgot about that.
yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
did not know that was coming out. I'll watch that for sure.
Yeah, and saw Cap last night. Great. Dr. Squatch, send us how it was because Tom and I know for sure seeing it tomorrow.
Yep.
Mass will not be, and I feel terrible about that. But
Oh, it's okay.
No,
I'm
it's
sure
not.
you and your son will go see it, right?
I tried not tomorrow. I asked him if he wanted to go. He's got plans already, but so
That's
yeah,
okay.
he's hanging out with his girlfriend. So we're staying here. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you guys thinking about all those movies, all that stuff coming up? Any that's really flicking your bick?
Flicking our bick.
That's my thing.
Superman, and I had no interest. I had absolutely no interest to see Thunderbolts until the trailer came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that looks like fun. So I'm actually interested in that one now.
Oh, that's the guy from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Florence Pugh. Yeah. I'll see
What's his
that.
name? The Red what?
I don't know.
Red something. Anyway, we'll get it told on it.
Alfie will tell us, and then he'll also make fun of you from saying the guy from Stranger Things. He'll come up with some.
Hey, Alfie, it's Hopper. I know that. Oh, Fantastic Four. Thank you, Hyperspace Heroes. I love Sam Wilson, and Harrison Ford was awesome as Ross. There we go. Thank you, Dr. Squatch. Yeah. With that accent, I will watch anything she's in. Thank you, Alfie. So Florence Pugh fan right there. Yeah, I tell you what, Oppenheimer, the scene in Oppenheimer with her, I was not prepared for that one bit whatsoever. I don't know if you guys either one see Oppenheimer.
I'm not allowed to talk about it on live YouTube.
Yeah, I saw it. I was not expecting it in that film, but I that was a movie that I thought I would only watch one time, but I'll probably go back again.
She was in Be My Baby. Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
I'm not allowed to talk about that one on YouTube Live either.
What's Be My Baby?
It's the one with Harry Styles, kind of like a Stepford Wives kind of type thing.
Alfie.
Red Guardian, Alfie coming through. And he used the right reference. Good job, Joe.
I am Alfie's sweet summer child, as he tells me all the time.
Summer child.
Sweet summer
Oh.
child. So that's good stuff. Yeah. Hey, real quick, Valentine's was yesterday. Did either of you do anything nice, fancy, romantic for your significant others?
Oh.
I already told you my stories, so.
Mass, go ahead. I'll be right back. I got to show you guys something.
No, we didn't actually. Kelly we had a night planned, but Kelly had some dental work done last week, and she
Okay.
got an infection, so she's having a hard time, chewing,
Hmm.
and it's making her sick to eat sometimes. So we canceled our plans and just hung out at home.
Okay.
But
There-
we still had a good time. We were together.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
Did
I
you
mean,
have movie night last night? Or TV
We did
show?
have movie night. Yeah. We what? I forget. We're watching a couple of things. I can't remember. The 1923 new season's coming out pretty
yeah.
soon.
Oh.
So we were rewatching that. That's a great show. And then we're watching something else too, but I can't remember what it is right now. It's too early in the morning for me.
Lori and I have an entire list. I mean, I don't know if you guys, you almost have to keep a checklist and a notepad to say, what are we caught up on? What are we not caught up on? Do we need to rewatch anything? I mean, there's a lot going on out there right now.
Mhm.
There's a
Wow.
lot of TV going on. So, yeah, because the next White Lotus is coming out this week.
At Max.
I see. Did you guys like White Lotus?
I did.
Never watched it.
I watched the first episode and I was like, I
It's
don't know if I'm coming back for this one.
it's a dark show.
Mhm.
I would say this, Mass. The first one's in Hawaii. The second one's in Sicily. This one's in, I believe, Japan. I'll have to check. But they're at these luxurious resorts, and crazy weird storylines going on in each of them. But the one in Hawaii was pretty good. The one in Sicily was fantastic.
You're
Oh.
biased. You're biased.
Because
No, I've never been to Sicily. I don't know anything about Sicily, but the scenery was fantastic. The actors were fantastic. The storyline was great. So White Lotus in Sicily was great. Some really great. Christopher from Sopranos is one of the key players in this show. Obviously, Stifler's mom is still a key player in this show. See, I don't know names. I just know characters like that.
Which one is Aubrey Plaza in one of those?
Aubrey Plaza she's in the second season. She's a key part of this one as well.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing is really good. I think you'll really like the second season better than the first season.
Well, I watched the first episode, and then I think I was going through channels one night, and I watched the guy take a shit in some guy's suitcase, and I was like,
yep.
I'm like, I don't really want to watch this.
After a little heavy amount of drugs, he takes a shit in somebody's suitcase. Yeah.
Wow.
Very weird. So, but yeah, White Lotus is coming out soon. So we've hit on a ton of that stuff. Real quick, more streaming talk. Mass, I have to feel like you did this. Tom, I'm not sure on you. Mythic Quest with Rob McElhenney. Have either one of you watched that?
No. I have not. I've got it queued up, ready to watch, but I haven't indulged yet.
Okay. I think it looks fantastic. I'm ready to jump in because just getting to know him from Wrexham, because I never watched It's Sunny in Philadelphia. I just never have.
That looks like a hilarious show, but it's so many seasons in, it's hard to catch up.
I know. So Wrexham, this guy is awesome. And so I'm seeing Mythic Quest, and it's only a few seasons, and I'm thinking, I might be able to jump in on that. It looks silly and fun. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, let's see, what else did I have? Because I had some notes. Super Bowl. We haven't talked about the Super Bowl. I know we've got the #1 Eagles fan right here on the show, and we had an interesting experience of enjoying the Super Bowl from the point of view of having J-Doc and D-Doc on our chats. What do we have there, Tom?
That's what I got my wife. You can't see it.
Oh my
Thomas
gosh.
Christopher. Oh, cool.
Personal made Funko Pops.
Yep.
That your Funko Pop is a lot cooler than you are.
Wow.
It is way cooler. You can't like put all the flaws in it. It's just a very, very big
So it has a hat on it as usual, because that's what you
hat.
do is wear a
Yeah.
hat,
Hat,
and then
bottle of wine,
nice.
and a little teddy bear. And then the wine glass is in Mrs. Lion's hand.
So cute.
And then she's got the Cupid's arrow because she's the one that like had to hunt me down. See?
Can you need to send a picture of that to our group so Lori can see that. I think she'd like to see
Okay.
that.
How did you know you could do that?
It came across on Instagram. Plus, I'm a big Funko Pop guy. So, yeah, you can. It came across and they had like a Valentine's special and you can.
Did she like it?
Oh, yeah. She thought it was really cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Okay. Sorry.
Nope, you're good. That was
Now
a
we
great.
go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So Super Bowl. Any thoughts? I mean, look, I have the last few years had Saquon Barkley on my fantasy football team, so I'm a big Saquon fan. And you know,
Did you-
I was cheering for that. I look, I have no problem with Patrick Mahomes. It's we had Tiger Woods, we had Tom Brady. You have the greats, right? At some point in time, Patrick is in that role now. But I was kind of like, I'm okay if the Eagles win this thing. So I was all right with that. What are you guys? Matt, you were going to say something.
I was going to ask if you guys saw the Eagles parade where Saquon grabbed the trainer out of the crowd and lifted him up and had him walk with them down the parade. I thought that was cool as hell.
No,
Yeah.
I did not. I like Saquon a lot.
Yeah.
He seems like a genuine
Yeah.
team player, good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I am the captain of the Eagles fan club now. Sorry, D-Doc. But that was the most boring game. Oh my gosh.
Ever.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Kendrick Lamar was awful.
I didn't care for that.
I am an old fuddy-duddy. I loved Eminem and Dr. Dre when they had their, I like the big name artists, and I know Kendrick Lamar is big, but just I know none of his music.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah, I don't know if he was good or not. I mean, I was trying to understand. I thought the visuals of I thought it looked really cool, but
I agree.
I don't know his work.
No.
So I didn't enjoy it to the fullest, I guess.
Look at three white guys, and they're near 50, talking about Kendrick Lamar. We're all like, I don't know his work. I
told him to stay off my lawn.
Gosh, people are listening to this show going, "That's it. I'm turning them off."
Oh,
I invited him over for pancakes. But.
So apparently, like that, pancakes and sausage. Apparently, that They Not Like Us is a diss track with him, like with Drake. He and Drake have beef or something. My kids are all into that whole thing. Like, oh, it was awesome. I'm like, it sucked. He mumbled the whole time. Like,
I couldn't tell you one thing about it. It was entertaining enough that I watched it all. The visuals were great. The music wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So
and Patrick Mahomes, basically, he's like every other quarterback. If you can get pressure on him and keep him from scrambling, he looks like everybody else.
100%.
That defensive line was amazing.
They killed him, man. They
rushing for and getting to him on every play. It seemed like.
Yep.
So as you guys know, I spent 2 days in New Orleans with Joey. Around that, it was awesome. It was fantastic. Meeting people, seeing things. We rushed down there, 12 hours drive, spent almost 2 days, 12-hour drive back. And it was crazy. But it was good father-son bonding time. And, getting to go to some of the parties and the events and meet people was wild. I'm sitting there hanging out with Ryan Clark and talking to him about his son playing on Notre Dame football, taking pictures with him because he's a former Steeler. Joey was doing a thing called Perplexity. And Perplexity is kind of like Google, but it's AI entrenched kind of Google, right? And so they were doing some with him on that. And they put him in one of those Tesla trucks. Remember Cash Cab? He was filming inside of that for Perplexity. And so I'm standing there, and this guy stands up next to me and goes, "Oh, there's the truck." And I look over, it's Reggie Wayne. And I was like, "Oh yeah, hey Reggie," and I put my hand out. We shook hands, and
No
I
way.
was like, I didn't mean to bug you, and I said, "Are you doing this?" He goes, "I'm next." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was like, I told him who I was from Indy, all this. I was like, had to say hi, being a guy from Indy. And I said, "Do you know Joey Molinaro?" He goes, "I know him, but I don't know him." He goes, like, "I know who he is. I know." And I go, "He's in the car now." He goes, "Oh, really? Oh, shit." And so Joey gets out of the car. We're walking around. There's Reggie and the lady who's walking around with Joey goes, "You want to?" Joey's like, "Yeah, let's go." So he and Reggie went and talked it up, and I was like, "That guy's pretty cool." That was
Mhm.
pretty cool. He didn't have to do that, but he's just just a cool guy. And so these people actually rented 4 houses on a city block in New Orleans, called it the Block. 4 houses. One was coffee and IVs and oxygen. One was alcoholic drinks. One was food, and one was gear. And they're an agent, so they all they do is take care of athletes, right? That's why all these athletes were there. And so the athletes were going and getting gear from the Block at this party house. And so the guy was like, "Hey, Joey, you and your dad want to go get some gear?" And I'm like, "I'll go take some free gear, right?" I mean, we got sweatshirts, hats, everything else. I'm like, "This is crazy." Then they were like, "You guys want some cigars?" Ed Reed brought his brand of cigars. There's whole boxes of them over there. If you want to take some cigars, I was like,
Wow.
"It's like, yeah, I'll take some cigars." I mean,
So
so
when are we smoking those?
we can. I mean, I was going to give them to my dad, who smokes cigars every day. But if you guys want to smoke them, let's smoke
Not
them
me.
up.
But you guys, I'll be around and hang out with you while you're smoking them. But I'll pass.
So yeah, I mean, like the being a part of it and seeing. I've never been to New Orleans. Have you guys been to New Orleans?
No.
I have.
Really?
I went to Mardi Gras
Oh
a
shoot!
couple times. I think I almost died. It was when I was in college. It was really weird. We got there and we walked down, and all of a sudden John Goodman, and this is like 25 years ago. He comes out. He's on one of those balconies, drunk out of his mind, and he's just throwing beads everywhere. I think I had 2 hurricanes, and then I don't remember till the next day what happened. But yeah, it was a really good time.
Holy
It's a lot
crap!
of fun.
Okay, it surprised me.
Thompson was making his own beads before we got there. We had fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I almost died. It was a blast.
That's about it. Yeah.
And New Orleans is a different town. I enjoyed it. I want to take Lori a little bit of everywhere. And now that we're older, I'm not sure on New Orleans. I'm back and forth on it, whether it'd be a good fit for her.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out, because I mean, I don't want people throwing beads at her, obviously. But I mean, it's a cute town. There's some cute things, but I don't know if it would be a good fit. Like, she likes New York City and Chicago and DC and things like that. I don't know if it's the same. We went to Dallas, so I don't know if it's the same to go to New Orleans. But we'll put it out there as something we might do for a long weekend. I don't know.
Old and dirty. It looks old and dirty.
There is a lot of old and dirtiness to it.
You don't
But
think New York looks old and dirty?
New York has a lot of old and dirty.
Well, I've never been to New York.
Oh.
I'm a Indiana boy that's never been out of the city.
You have to see the world a little bit more, Tom. We gotta get you out there.
I like New Orleans. It looks different. It kind of there's a different vibe to it.
100%.
There's a lot of music going on. I enjoyed it.
I will say the one thing I really liked, Mass, was pretty much everywhere you wanted to go and eat or drink, they have the balconies on their second floor.
Yeah.
So you would go get a beer and snacks or whatever, and you go sit on their balcony looking down at people walking down the streets. So that's very cool. Really enjoyed that.
It's a lot of fun.
A lot of music.
Food. The food's kind of Cajun food. I'm all about that. Yeah. So
a lot of Creole, a lot of crawfish. They were all talking about how they suck the heads out of crawfish.
I don't think I would do that though.
It's like, okay.
Hey, it's not bad.
But you know where they come from, right? They're like, they live in the mud of creeks and rivers and.
We eat pigs.
Okay.
We do. Do they give the
Did-
crawfish?
Except
to
Samuel
Bass?
L. Jackson, he doesn't dig on swine.
There you go.
I just don't eat pork. That's all I'm saying.
But I mean, I've been to New York too, and nobody in New Orleans ever told me the story of how they got addicted to crack like they did on the subway in New York.
Yeah.
So I'd rather go back to New Orleans myself.
Really?
See, I'm a
New
New York guy. I would go to New York. I'd go to New York once a week. I love New York City. I've been there twice now in the same year, and I've told Lori I could live there. I could go and move there tomorrow.
I'd
But
move
New
back
Orleans-
to Chicago.
Yeah,
Love
Chicago's-
Chicago.
in the right spots of both of them. Both you have to be in the right spot. If you're in the wrong
Mhm.
spot in Chicago or New York, you don't want to live there.
Too cold.
Right.
So real quick, looking at it, I put in for press passes for the Indiana Comic Con in March in Indianapolis. Those bastards did not give me press passes, so I'm not paying their exorbitant fees. So Indiana Comic Con, you're off my list. The ICCC in May.
Yep.
We've loved those guys. We've had a great relationship with them. I've talked to you guys about ICCC, how fantastic it is. No press passes for them. So you know what? ICCC, I'm putting a line in the sand. You either give me press passes or I'm not promoting you anymore. And then I will tell you, no press passes involved, but still keep it on your calendar. Great Ohio Toy Show, March 29th. Tom, unless you're in California, I want you there.
We're
March
not.
29th. The three of us, Joey, Alfie, we go spend a day. D-Doc might fly in for this, guys.
Okay. I think I have
If
that one on my
D-Dot
calendar.
goes, I'll go for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
thanks. What's that
we're-
say about us? What's that say about us? Wow. Wow.
It means I
Wow.
see you all the time.
Okay.
I've never met D-Doc in person, man.
Oh,
I need to do that.
I have that one on my calendar, Joe.
Yep. So we will get that planned out and going. Movie stuff we're talking about. What else do we have? We're going to go see your daughter possibly next Saturday at Franklin Central. So we got that on the calendar. What else we got going on, guys? We got Mass's wedding in September.
Yep.
So Mass, I've already decided. One, I reach out to the people at Wrexham and I reach out to the agent for Rob McElhaney. I've asked him for your bachelor party if he would get me set up to take you to go see a Wrexham game. So just wait patiently and see if that happens.
The fact that you don't get press passes for Comic Con or whatever, and ICCC is making me think, Mass, don't bank. Do not bank
Wow.
on these Rex.
Wow.
Yeah.
The answer is no, unless you ask.
That's right.
That is
That's right.
correct. Yes.
The amount of times where I've said,
Fact.
hey, speaking, a short little quick story. In New Orleans, Lori one day, pink sweatshirt that said New Orleans on it, right?
Mhm.
The main reason is because I ruined the pink sweatshirt from Pittsburgh that I got for her that I actually accidentally stained. But I'm walking in, I'm like, Joey, before we leave, I've got to stop off one of the shops in the French Quarter and get her a sweatshirt. So I was like, pull over there, because it's busy traffic. I was like, I'm going to run in that shop I looked at earlier. I run over. Guys, only guy in there running the shop. I walk in, I'm like, hey, dude, how you doing? And he just nods at me. I'm thinking, all right, this ought to be quick and painful. And I run back to the back. I'm like, pink sweatshirt. Nice, soft, fluffy. Let's go. Take it up there. It's $49 for a sweatshirt. So I looked at the guy, and I'm like, dude, I'm in a mad rush. I'm getting ready to head out of town. I promised my wife a pink sweatshirt from New Orleans. I said, tell you what, why don't you do me a favor? Cut this thing in half today, half price today. He looks at me and goes, okay, sure. So $49 sweatshirt, he charged me $22 for it. And I was like, thanks, brother. Walked right out. So the question is no until you ask. So if Rob, if you're listening, Rob's agent, if you're listening to the live podcast that we're doing, the question is still out there. And, I think that would be a good trip. So we'll try and do that. But the Cubs, I know we talked about a Cubs trip. We're still trying to finalize the dates. I know I sent out some dates and some ideas, but we might have some conflicts. So I'm waiting to hear on that. And once I do, I'll give you more dates on the Cubs trip because I want to get Kelly to Wrigley. And there's a bar that Joey is friends with the manager of, and they have a rooftop and couches and big screen TVs. And so we're trying to get in good with him to make sure it all runs well. And after the game, we go spend an evening up on a rooftop drinking. So we'll give you updates on
Cool.
that too. So
Yeah.
yeah. But what else are we thinking about missing that we haven't covered so far
You
today?
just brought up questions for me. Like,
Bring
I've
them
got
up.
so many, like, A, was the Super Bowl the week before, was it crazy busy down there in New Orleans? Were you able
Yes.
to, did you
Crazy.
guys fly? You drove down, so were you able to park cheap? And
Parking expensive. We had valet at our hotel.
okay,
What was
expensive.
different from when Indianapolis had the Super Bowl?
Indianapolis does it up right. They had Super Bowl Village. There was
Mhm.
really no Super Bowl Village like that in New Orleans.
Okay.
Like Indianapolis knows, like here's the game, here are the hotels. In between all of it, you have an entire
Yeah.
city based on the Super Bowl, and that's just Indianapolis. They know how to host events. New Orleans, you had the convention center over here where all the Radio Row stuff and famous people were, like Joey was going to see. You have the dome way over here. You have French Quarter way over here. So it was it's just a
kind of
huge,
sprawled out more.
yeah.
Mm.
You had to walk to all of it. It was like 20 minutes each direction. Fortunately, it wasn't cold, so that was no big deal. It was in the 70s every day, but you didn't feel like you'd be going along and all of a sudden, boom, there'd be a big thing laid out for the Super Bowl, right? And then a few blocks later, you go and like, oh, here's another big thing for the Super
So it
Bowl.
wasn't all packed. Like everything we had was all packed in. So like you were in a crowd everywhere you went in
Yes.
Indianapolis. This
Yeah.
was spread. Like you actually had some space to kind of sprawl out. I probably like that better, honestly.
It was interesting, but you felt like you were in New Orleans, and all of a sudden you felt like you were at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It just switched back and forth.
And then the fact that you balked at a $49 sweatshirt while you're in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Okay, they're price gouging, and the fact that you just, hey man, look, seriously, cut this in half, and I think I'm gonna do that every department store I go into now. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, I really like that, but I know it's overpriced. I know some I can't even say it. I know it's live on TV. I know what you paid for this, and I'm not paying that absorbent markup.
There you go. Hey, yeah, look, my father is a good man. He's got some really good qualities, and he's got some crazy qualities. One of his qualities is he's not afraid to ask anybody anything.
It's awesome.
Fact.
But that's also one of his biggest curses, because he says whatever he wants to anybody, and I think that's everybody. Your dad's now becoming that way, Mass, right? I mean, just say whatever they want to say, and but I'm learning to try to temper that, to not get to the level where I cross the line, but just enough to where I feel like I'm pushing the envelope of asking a question like that. All they can say is no, right? But I didn't throw in extra things that maybe maybe like Gary Leathers would say. So yeah, so it's a different approach. But the answer is always no until you ask. So there we go.
And you got what you wanted. That's impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you. I think it was the boyish good looks and the charm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. And then when I turned around, he saw the big bald spot on the back of my head. He was like, "Wait a minute." Yeah,
they would have given Joey it for free.
Yeah, possibly.
If we're going by good looks, it'd be like,
hey, I know you.
Hey.
Let's see what else, real quick. Oh, I did just finish a new Star Wars novel that comes out on February 25th. I'm now on the early bird preview thing for the Star Wars novels, and I asked them if I could get it in audiobook version instead of regular book version, and they sent me the link for the audiobook. Fantastic. I know you guys aren't big audiobook people probably, or you're not big Star
I
Wars
love
fans.
audiobooks.
But yeah,
what's the book about?
It's Star Wars: The Mask of Fear, The Reign of the Empire, and it takes place days after Revenge of the Sith, and it shows you how Mon Mothma and Bail Organa and that group, Saw Gerrera, are planning behind the scenes already and looking at going against the Emperor. And the seeds of the rebellion are getting planted way back then. But it also shows you how devilish the Emperor and his group have been during the Clone Wars, kind of prepping and planning to be the Emperor and to take over and be a dictator and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good. I really enjoyed the book,
That's
and
interesting.
it's a trilogy. So this is the first of 3, and it comes out in February 25th.
Is it going to lead into Andor?
Yeah, it kind of leads into Rebels and Andor and Rogue One. So it's really laying the groundwork for all that. But yeah, fantastic. Really, really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait. I'm not gonna tell a lot of spoilers till after February 25th, but it was really good, entertaining, and I hope they keep making books like this that fill in those gaps. I think that's the place for books is we don't need a movie of everything. We don't need a show of everything.
We don't need a series of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
We need movies. We need
exactly.
movies.
We need to be butts in the seats for Star Wars, in my opinion. Books and comics and animated series are fantastic filler, and then movies for the big stories. So, but it was good. Yeah,
Oh, I remember the other thing that Kelly and I were watching. Have you guys seen Yellow Jackets?
Nope.
No.
I've heard of it.
It's different. it's, I really like it. Like it's like the plane crash, young girls soccer team. They're stuck out in the mountains,
Oh my.
and you see what happens after that. It's really interesting. It's really good. It's tripped out.
Does it get like Lord of the Flies ish?
It gets dark, man.
Okay.
Like season 2 is dark, but it's good. It's really good.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
Man,
I've seen all kinds of good things about it, but Lori and I have not watched
I
that.
don't know how you keep up with all this stuff. There's so much TV, and guys, I still am a live TV person. So
Yeah.
I'm still a Survivor, Amazing Race, the Challenge All Stars. I'm a major like reality TV kind of guy. So
I am not.
I watch a lot of live TV, and I can't get rid. And the thing is, I can't get rid of YouTube TV because we watch live TV.
Mm.
And now I'm going to sound like an old fuddy duddy. Netflix is raising their price. Another, they're going up to like $17.99, and which all the other ones will follow. They'll fall in line too. They'll all go up.
No.
I might as well just get basic cable again, or get.
That's the way it's going. That's the way it's going. So, well, boys, I've got a first birthday party to go to here in a little bit for Mira, my granddaughter. Lori and I have got to get some prep done before it. No pancakes and sausage or anything like that. But we've got to go get ready for that. So I'm going to tie things up. Any closing thoughts from either one of you guys? Things we didn't hit on or anything like that before we go?
I don't have anything.
No, I don't either.
If we still have some viewers watching this,
we do.
Put some information in the comments. If there's stuff you want us to talk about,
heck yeah.
Nothing's off limits here. We are those guys.
And you can.
I really don't want to hear anything any of you guys have to say.
or you can
fast.
Email us at ruleofthegalaxysw@gmail.com, and we'll bring it up for the next show.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So
we can do that.
Yeah.
I was kidding. I know.
Mass is always kidding.
We just lost our 3 viewers. Thanks,
Look at that, Alfie. Hope to see you guys at the Ohio Toy Show. There we go.
What's up, Alfie?
Yep, you'll see us there, and then possibly if we get to another movie soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it, guys. Well, hey, thanks a lot. And until we remember the tagline that Tom thought of the other night, we'll just say peace out, and we'll see you next time on Those Guys.